Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is the 5th episode of my festive reaction to the Box of Delights. Last time we saw Kay and his shrunken friends ride out the weir on their toy boat that they were using to hide from the gang. When they returned to the house, they discovered it had been ransacked, presumably in the search for the box. Mariah returned and explained that she had been taken in a flying car and locked in a room and interrogated about the box until her quite surprising release. Kay and Peter flew to the theologian college that Abner runs to see what's going on. Unfortunately, before they can really do much, Peter is taken and Kay has to retreat back home. Kay returns to the college later on and sneaks in. He finds Abner and Joe talking about the box, and it apparently belonged to a man called Arnold of Todi in the Middle Ages. He was visited by a philosopher called Ramon Lully, who offered his elixir of eternal life in exchange for the box, but was turned down. Arnold apparently used the box to go back in time and was lost, and Ramon took the box. It is then shown that Ramon is actually Cole Hawlins, making him over 600 years old. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
It's him. It's the old Punch and Judy man.
So he has aged. It's not like he is immortally young. He lives a long life.
If we could get hold of this elixir thing, is it like a cough mixture?
Is it a liquid or is it a... in the wrong hands? The elixir and the box would grant amazing power.
You've got the church all over the country up in arms. It's their service tonight in the cathedral. Been held every year for 1,000 years. Naturally, they'll do everything to see that it goes ahead.
If the box is not delivered to me by midnight tonight, I will stop their precious ceremony if it's the last thing I do.
I would have thought if the bishop and the clergy had been kidnapped, they would cancel the service out of respect.
That boy at Sea King's.
Kay Harker?
Well, I don't see why Cole Hawling shouldn't have given the box to him. Yeah, he's the one person you leave unscrobbled.
Joe, I have it on the authority of my pouncer that the boy is an idle muff. To the ageless and shrewd, eternally wise Cole Hawlings would entrust the greatest magic device of all time to an insignificant brat is nonsense!
But you've taken choir boys and other people unrelated to all. And the wolves were following him when he was on the pony and he leapt over the wall. So he... surely the wolves are kind of like messengers for him, so he would be told about that. If they're kidnapping everyone else, you think they would kidnap him as well?
Hello.
That's such a good effect, just the way he pops up.
Herne, and the hunter, please come, for I know now who is the key to all the trouble. Herne!
I know what you want, young Kay. You want to find Arnold of Todi.
Okay.
It's his box, you see, and if it were returned to him, all this hunting for it, and scrobbling people for it, would stop.
Would it?
The past is a great book, with many, many pages.
That's a good way of putting it.
There is one chance. It won't be quite you, but a shadow of you that goes. If we from here can call you strongly enough, through the sleeping you that remains, you may, no certainty, but you may get safely back.
It's a bit of a workaround.
I'm ready.
So he sends like a shadow of him back in time to find Arnold, and if they can't call him back, basically his consciousness will remain in the past and his body will lay sleeping, basically in a coma, I suppose. How's he doing this without the box? That's the Battle of Hastings picture. So we've got Egypt. So it's kind of simulating him going back through the different ages.
So, what skulking Trojan is this trying to escape?
I'm not a Trojan. I'm from
Ancient
Connecticut,
Greece.
England. I've come back.
Captain,
Connecticut, England.
there's another of them. But he's got no shadow.
I don't think I'd noticed that. Another of them, which implies someone else has been there.
How did we deal with him? We marooned him on the nearest island. Oh. Well?
They're strong. We had to push him like that. Might want to slow down a bit. Yep. At least it landed on soft sand. So they've sent one other person there before. So I'm assuming it's going to be Arnold or Toady. He's the only person we're aware of has gone back.
And was tomorrow yesterday? Or has it been and gone today? Will no one say? I wish someone would say.
Well, he seems with it.
Not English, no. The English have tails. It is well known the English have tails.
The English haven't got tails.
You have not, so you are not English.
Sir, I have your box of delights.
But as for my box, it's no more than a silly little toy.
That box is very, very powerful and has caused no end of trouble in my own time and in my own town. If you would only come and take it back into ancient time...
But I don't want it.
You mean I've come all this way into the past for nothing?
You want the past? I'll send you back. Back?
I was pausing a second. When he says that they have tails, I wonder, is he just a bit not with it? And he does mean literal tails, or is he talking about in the 30s and 20s? They used to wear jackets which had triangular sort of slits at the back, and they were called tails. So I don't know whether it's a play on word, but he's from the past. If he was from that time, I could kind of understand, yeah, he might mean that, but he doesn't necessarily know what tails would be in the future. The thing I don't get is if he did take the box into the past, surely it would all just start again, because the box would carry on and people would still be after it. Time travel, this confusing thing. So it might not make a difference him taking it back into the past. The only thing it would do is get it away from them at the moment. But they don't seem to be able to, the gang, the bad guys, Abner Brown, don't seem to be able to detect the box in any way, because it's been under their noses a few times. They can't sense the power. So would they believe it had gone into the past? Surely they'd just keep searching for it and keep doing what they're doing. So I don't think it would make a difference. He's got a lot of power. He was a magician. He can summon the elements.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
And he's throwing lightning at little boy. Probably the first person he's met in many years, so... So they've managed to call him back.
If you're so full of magic as you say you are, why don't you use your magic to find the missing box?
Tell the gentleman what Cole Holdings has done with the box.
Given it to somebody to keep for him. He put spells around it, so I don't know who.
Right, so he's protected the box from being he's protected it from being detected.
You shall have it under your hand today.
Under my hand?
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't said that you'll have it. He said it'll have it under your hand. So the creature's some kind of seer that he keeps trapped.
What will win the Grand National?
Kubadar by 7 lengths.
I think you and I should take a little walk.
I don't think you're going to be able to place a bet on any horses. Well, technically, the box is under your hand at the moment. So he was right. God. And they've all seen him. The bishop.
And how is the dear bishop?
I mean, they probably know each other. If he's in charge of the theological college and he's the bishop, they must have communication.
But I am stubborn too.
Where are the clergymen? Peter and Caroline Louisa.
I will last. And the earth will last.
He's so intense.
Step inside and see if his bones are still there.
Oh, yes.
I think the door's
I
going to
remember
shut.
the Earl. Very stubborn.
Stay here and rot forever. Oh, my rubies and sapphires, every robbery, every raid on every wealthy house. 300,000?
That's more than that. That's millions.
Enough for you to retire on, Abner. Do it. Flit off to some far country and let the others go.
Why don't you? Because you want the elixir.
If I could only get my hands on that box. Drat it!
Gotta get it up here anyway. Come on, box.
Oh, he's lost the box.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Dropped it.
Charles! There's one thing on my conscience.
It's going to set them all free.
You see, Sylvia, my pouncer. I told you he was going to double cross us. There's the boodle all packed up in his cash box.
Would serve him right if we just carried off the whole box.
Why don't
Too
you?
heavy and too conspicuous.
They got the access to the car. They just need to get to the car and they go fly off with all the jewels. That's easy enough there to retire on and have a very happy life. That's tens of millions.
Oh, the revenge for all these years of It's only a bit of rag. Bit of jeweller's cleaning rag or some such. There.
That's realistic. It probably would knock him out. But he is likely knocked out, and at least he's now out of the chest, and he's on the floor as well. So I wonder how he's going to get. I think he could have fitted through that lock hole, but then how would he have got down? He's still a long way up. So at least now he's on the floor, and once he comes to, which I'm sure he will, he should be able to hopefully get the box because it's on the floor near him. So I'm a bit not quite sure what Abner's after. So he has all those jewels, and there's a lot of money there. I mean, he's not a young chap. He could easily take all that, go off somewhere, and live a very happy retirement. But he would have a natural life, I would assume, and he would die. So I am assuming that's not what he wants. He wants eternal power, basically. If he can get the box and the elixir of long life, he could basically live for a long time with a lot of power. I'm not quite sure how you could use the opening of the box to get power, but things like shrinking down and being able to fly, that does give a certain amount of power. You'll be able to spy on people, get information on things that are going on. Knowledge is power, so that could definitely be used to an advantage. So yeah, I could see that those basic functions of the box could be useful. So I'm not quite sure how you could use the actual box. No, not sure. But they've obviously all rebelled against him. They're now taking the jewels and doing a runner. It's still on the hunt for the box though, so if he can get the box, not having the jewels doesn't matter too much. They can still he can still do a lot of damage. So that creature, that boy, the green boy who's under the waterfall, said that Abner would have the box under his hand by the end of the day, and he did have it under his hand, just not the way that Abner thought. So that was quite a good play on words. Yeah, so only one more episode to go. One episode for it all to be resolved. So I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.